Hello and very warm welcome to the Arise interview. 60 minutes of big questions about the big stories from the news and beyond with fresh insight and critical analysis. I am Christian Ogodo and we're live in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Coming up in the next hour, records have shown that over the past 3 years, Nigerians in the diaspora have brought in over $25 billion annually as home remittances to the Nigerian economy through official and non-formal channels. Nigerians in the diaspora cut across all walks of life. They are performing exceptionally daily, providing that the misdeed of a few can stand in the way of hardworking ones. One of such is Dr. Godwin Maduka, the Harvard-trained medical doctor and the founder of Las Vegas Pain Institute and Medical Center that has now expanded to 6 other locations in southern Nevada in the United States. He has passion for progress and grassroots development. Today, we'll find out his drive and ask if he intends to be part of governance in Nigeria. Coming up in a moment. Globally, good governance is seen as a critical factor to drive development, and in Nigeria, the debate for who becomes what, when, and how has begun. Youth groups in Anambra State under the aegis of Concerned Youths of Anambra have intensified the campaign for the next governor of the state to come from Anambra South Senatorial Zone, arguing that it was the only way to ensure equity and sustain the peaceful coexistence in the state. The issue has become topical such that any political party that fields a candidate from another zone in 2021 might not have a chance of winning the election. Well, for more on this, I'm now being joined via WebEx from Las Vegas in the United States of America by Dr. Godwin Maduka. He is a Nigerian-American doctor and businessman. He is the founder of Las Vegas Pain Institute and Medical Center. Very warm welcome, Dr. Maduka, and thanks for joining us on the Arise interview.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you are one diasporan that politics may draw home, particularly in your state, Anambra State 2021, where a new leadership, they'll be searching for a new leadership in 2021 to be the governor of Anambra State. Tell us some of your political ambitions, Dr. Maduka.
Well, I believe that there comes a time where we have to have a new direction. So I have been watching my state of Anambra State, and I have seen the progress they have made, and there's other places where we need some more improvement. And that's why I decided that I should try my best to get involved with the government of Anambra State.
And in getting involved, you've not even announced the political party under which platform you want to contest the election in 2021. And secondly, 2021 is just a few months away. So what are you bringing to the table, Maduka?
Excellent. Well, I'm at this point, I'm running under PDP. Party. What is it that I'm bringing to the table? About 40 years I've been in US, and out of that 40 years, 30 years I've been at home as well, doing one thing or the other, trying to improve the people's life. And I believe that I have something to offer. All the governors since Ngige, P2B, as well as Obiano, I have always been involved, trying to do my best to help with the government. And having watched them all these years, I realized that there's a lot also I can add to what they have done. And I have enumerated many areas that we need some improvement. in the area of education, area of transport, women and youth empowerment, area of IT technology. Of course, as you know, in medicine, which is my career, we have to improve in that area. I think medical tourism have to be reversed. Our people shouldn't have to be going to India or America or UK to get the health care that they need. So that's one of the things that are needed to make sure that is done in my state, because we spend billions of naira and dollars taking that money to overseas when we can have it at home. As you know, I'm also a pharmacist. And being a pharmacist, I also believe that we're going to build factories that manufacture drugs that people can use, instead of having a lot of fake drugs and people using it and it's not working. So all these areas that I'm going to touch about, the agriculture that we talked about before, I think we need to have mechanized agriculture. We also have to be able to help farmers on a local level to be effective in terms of agriculture. So some of this is some of this is what I've been looking into all these years, and realize that we can make a difference in this area. I have done some stuff in the past, like getting involved in education, religious tolerance, road and bridges,
Well, asking
and
how many
even
more
building.
minutes?
Are you with me so far?
And appropriately. Well, you're trying to explain those things that you've done, but the people you live in the diaspora, how much or how close are you to the grassroots? How much help? I mean, you've stayed there more than half of your life in the US, establishing your hospital chains. How much assistance, philanthropy have you done for the people of Anambra State? Dr. Maduka?
Um, you know, I used to tell people that I didn't know that it's being called a philanthropy. I thought that what we were doing is trying to change what we don't like growing up. Now, growing up in Anambra, I was born in 59. The war broke around the 66 to 70. As a child, I didn't start school until I was 10 years, 11 years old. And I was very lucky to have finished school and then end up in US and read chemistry, pharmacy, and medicine. Went to Harvard and started working. Now, the only time I've been absent from Anambra State or from Nigeria was the first 11 years that I was in the classroom. After that 11, 12 years, I've been coming home every year. So there's nothing about home that I don't know. I was involved with construction of those roads and doing all that stuff at home and dealing with villagers. So in terms of being close to the grassroots, of course, I was one of them. In terms of the things that we needed to do at home to make sure that people's lives are better. Okay. So the grassroots of Anambra State and from Orumba, where I come from, they're very close to me. As far as the Nigerians in diaspora, they are ready for a change. They're coming home. They decided this is a movement. Our people at home are doing good, but we have to have a collective effort. We from the Nigerians in diaspora and those at home will work together to be able to bring a change in Nigeria. There shouldn't be any division between Nigerians in diaspora and Nigerians at home. So they intend to come home, get involved in politics, get involved in development, get involved in infrastructure building. And those are the things that are moving this movement.
You call it, you've chosen to call it a movement from the diaspora back home to come and contribute politically, socio-economically to the development of Anambra. Quickly, some youth groups in Anambra State are saying that the governorship must be zoned to the South Senatorial District. What are your thoughts? Do you fall within that bracket or outside that bracket? Or are you for meritocracy, merit to take control instead of zoning?
Okay, listen, it's a very good question. These have been observed now for close to 20 years. The central gone 8 years, the north 8 years. Now is the time for the south. But let me make it categorically clear. We have to observe that zoning so there will be peace at home. You cannot explain to anybody else that it's the time for the South to go and all of a sudden it become a politics. You can't have peace in the state that way. Now, after we finish with the South, then we can abandon this zoning system. But it's abundantly clear that the next governor must come from the South, or the people of the Southern Senatorial Zone will feel cheated. But I believe that even at that we've been endowed with men that could actually win the governorship without being zoned from the South. We have a lot of heavyweights down there. I happen to come from the South as well. Even though I'm not running on based on senatorial zone, which is the South, I'm running on the fact that there's a lot that need to be changed. We shouldn't be lacking behind in development. We shouldn't stick with the same old story about politics. Our politics and understanding has to go beyond the borders of Nigeria. We need to be looked upon internationally. We should have, as a very developed country in the future. So me and others, I and others, trying to come home and do something because we love our country. I love my state. I love my city. I love my race. And I love people in general. I'm not coming to be a messiah, but I'm coming to do what I have been doing for 30 years. I never meant to dabble into politics, but I've seen some things that I think I can do to help us and add to the good work that all these governors have done. Now, I do not put anybody down. You have to be in that seat before you can say somebody did good or didn't do good. I think Anambra State have been blessed with a lot of good governors, and I really believe that when I come in there with diaspora effect and the Nigerians are home.
All right, Dr. Maduka, sorry, I mean, I have to, stop you at this juncture so that we can go on a short break to take some messages. When we return, we'll continue to interrogate your political ambition along with your charitable causes and your medical surgeon in the world of business. You're still watching the Arise interview. We've got plenty more still ahead. Stay with us. You're welcome back to the Arise interview with me, Christian Nogodo. We're live in Nigeria's capital, Abuja, and we're returning to Las Vegas, where we have Dr. Godwin Maduka. He's a medical expert and the proprietor of paying institutes in Las Vegas and other branches. Dr. Maduka, before we went on break, you were given, a political overview in Anambra State where you say after 2021, zoning should still be maintained, but zoning should be eradicated or eliminated after the South must have produced the next governor. Now let's look at a bigger picture for the Igbos in southeastern region. The presidency, they are asking that it should be zoned to them. What are your thoughts about zoning the presidency to the southeast in 2023?
Well, it's almost a replica of what happened in Anambra State. I think democracy in Nigeria, I hope in the future, we will get to the same level of the Westerners and the Western world. The reason that they're clamoring for Igbo president is just for that equity and fairness. I think we all are one race under God. I'm looking forward to Nigeria that doesn't have tribalism, because when you live in America all these years, you realize that being black is being black. Nobody's going to ask you if you're from Hausa or from Igbo or from Yoruba. But at this point, I think when we reach that perfect union, then you do not have to clamor for a president coming from one region of Nigeria or the other, because we all are the same. We're all Nigerians. But because there is not that well articulated democracy yet, okay, then I believe that the next president should come from the southeast, mostly the Igbos. They need to produce a president in this way, and that president should be for everybody. That president should not discriminate. I'm not saying that any president is discriminating. We have been lucky too with a lot of presidents. But there is other people that use the presidency to their effect, and the president might not even know that. So a president from Igbo or from Hausa or from Yoruba should be all our president. We are all the same people. So I believe until you have that again, for the Southeast to produce a president, it will have this kind of feeling of marginalization in government.
And though living in the diaspora, have that sense of marginalization, particularly if you listen to an elder statesman, Maman Daura, who said, look, the time has come, particularly from 2023, not to zone the presidency. Let the best be chosen. Do you belong to that school of thought, or you still will insist that no, maybe after the Southeast must have produced the president, then it can be thrown open to all Nigerians?
Well, this is what I believe personally. I think Southeast should produce a president, and after which we educate the Nigerians to love one another, coexist, north, south, and wherever. We all are one. But the problem is not with the elite. The problem is still with the people at home, the less educated or less informed that don't understand what is going on. There shouldn't be any zoning in anything. There shouldn't be a zoning in governorship. There shouldn't be a zoning in presidency. But right now, we have not grown to that point to understand the whole source together. And that's why the zoning had to happen now, while we're learning to emulate the people that gave us democracy. Okay? Nepotism have to be gone in Nigeria. I don't understand it. I love my race. I love other races. But what brings us together? We're all black, man. We're all black. We're all Nigerians. I don't care what part of Nigeria you are. Okay? I don't feel that I should be seen as an Igbo man. That's it. I should be seen as a Nigerian. So in terms of this, again, like what is happening in Anambra now, I believe that the zoning must be complete. You have to produce an Igbo president. Let's see what they can do too. So they don't feel that they cannot rule or govern. Give them a chance. Then after that, we throw Europe into everybody. That's my belief. Just like what is happening in Anambra, the Southerners have not produced a governor. Until now, the next governor of Anambra is coming from the South. Why? Number one, in the South, we have a lot of eligible people that can be governors. Two, is also zoned over there for peace to reign, for unity. It's something I'm calling on Nigerians to love one another and let people be a part of the union. If we don't produce a president from the southeast, a lot of people are going to be feeling that marginalization I've been talking about. And what is wrong with me? People will be asking, why can't we produce a president? But Igbo president have to be Igbo for everybody. You have to be a president for everybody. You have to be a president for the north, the south, and the middle belt, everywhere. Nigeria is a beautiful country. Beautiful. I lived there all my life. The only time I've been absent from home is 12 years. I love coming home. I love going to Abuja. I love going to Kano. I love going to Lagos. I have a home in Lagos. I love going to Lorraine. I did my training, my tropical medicine in a Lorraine side before I finished medical school. We love this nation. So I believe that whatever system that has been begun had to be allowed to finish. So let the Igbos produce their own president, then there's eternity left. Then we can go to that stage where we throw it open. But we have to have love for one another for that to happen. We cannot have anybody hating another tribe because that is, to me, that's not being an adult. An adult who discriminates against somebody based on their religion or their skin color or the part of the world or part of the country they come from, that person is not grown yet. There is this thing that we know that God created all men equal. But what we do with our life is different at that point. That's my say on this.
Okay, that's very good. Good submissions there. At least you're still very politically conscious with the goings on in Nigeria. We'll be going on a short break, Dr. Maduka, because the question I'll be asking you when we return is Nigerians in the diaspora have been clamoring for electoral reforms so that they can vote even though they are far from homes. That's when we return after the commercial break. You're welcome back to the Arise interview. My name is Christian Ogodo, and I still have with me Dr. Godwin Maduka, a United States-based surgeon and a pharmacist as well as a chemist. He's live via WebEx with us from the US, Las Vegas. Dr. Maduka, I said I was going to ask you your thoughts about the clamor by Nigerian living in the diaspora about the electoral reform in Nigeria, particularly that they be given a chance to vote and be voted for from the diaspora. What are your thoughts in this area?
Well, most Nigerians know that we contribute to the welfare of the country. As you said, there are billions of dollars or euros flowing into Nigeria from the Nigerians in diaspora. Now, if we also involved in development, we involve in religion, we involve in every aspect of human endeavor at home. Well, they should be allowed to vote. And they're going to start voting. But they had to get voter registration card. It's very simple. They're part of the system. One thing I love about Nigerians, we love our home. We love our families at home. We love our state. We love our country. Most Nigerians in diaspora do not get involved in all this nepotism or tribalism or that, because that would be a laughing joke when you, after lived in the US or UK or Canada or other parts of Europe, and you come home, you want to identify with one tribe or the other. We don't do that. So I think it's time that they start coming home. The Indians did it in India. The Chinese did it. The only way Nigeria will move forward is to use this knowledge we have plus what we grow up with in Nigeria and merge them together so we can move the country further. We should have a mind that different from what is prevalent sometimes. So now I do want to say something. Our present president Buhari came to US a few days ago using the diaspora minister and invited all Nigerians that have excelled in all the areas of endeavor. I happen to be one chosen among doctors. There are some people from aviation, people from security, people from different aspects. And we had a dialogue with him. And he called on us to come home and do what we had to do at home. I was also informed by somebody a few days ago that he had made the same call again. Nigerians should come home and help our people. The time is now. Okay, we have a lot of brain drain. We are very smart people. We excel here in US. Nigerians are the most educated in America per capita. As a group, they're the most educated, the most wealthiest. They have more wealth among them than any other people here now, as have been reported by CNN. We just need to have that soft landing to come home without any pushback so we can develop our place as well. Some of us live here, we enjoy this society. We need to emulate what we learned from here and do that in Nigeria. If that answers your question.
Oh, very well indeed, Dr. Maduka. It does. I mean, good to know that Nigerians in the diaspora have that liaison with the Nigerian Diaspora Commission as exemplified by the Director General of that commission, Mrs. Abike Dabiri Erewa, who you said gathered Nigerian professionals together. I want to look again at the Nigerian professionals in the diaspora. You are a surgeon, I mean, you're into pharmaceuticals and the rest. What's the kind of liaison that you create, you know, to help come and invest in Nigeria, or like you are advocating to return home to Nigeria to contribute to the development in all spheres of life? Tell us some of this.
Well, I have told the Nigerians in diaspora, east, west, north, and south, to whom is still the best. That's where you're born. Okay, and
well, I think we just lost connection there momentarily, but we'll get our engineers to fix that video connection to Dr. Godwin Maduka, who is a proprietor of Pain Institute Hospital and other chains in Las Vegas. When you hear about Nigerians in the diaspora, it shouldn't be about fraud or illegalities alone. Strikingly, Nigerians are doing the country proud, extraordinarily contributing to the nation's gross domestic product and imparting humanity. A man with a passion for better health and pain relief comes to mind.
In a shop to raise
Dr. Godwin Maduka. He wasn't born with a silver spoon. He is a sheer product of hard work, grit, and perseverance. He's been involved in grassroots development in his country home. He falls under the category of Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari's three-point agenda for those in the diaspora who can be part of national development considering their wealth of experience. Also, there are calls for them to actively participate in the country's post-COVID-19 economic recovery efforts. Let's watch this.
This year's celebration is by webinar for the very first time due to the effects of the ravaging coronavirus pandemic, which has created a new normal for our activities. Let me, at this juncture, commend the enormous contribution of the Nigerians in diaspora to the socio-economic development of Nigeria. Over the past 3 years, Nigerians in the diaspora have brought in over 25 billion United States dollars annually as home remittances to the Nigerian economy through official and non-official channels. This is about 6% of our annual GDP and upwards of 80% of our annual budget. This has impacted our livelihoods of Nigerians in terms of education, health, housing, and estate development, industry, trade and investments, agriculture, and technology skills transfer. In terms of diaspora home remittances, Nigeria is rated as the #1 in sub-Saharan Africa, and this is still growing, especially with the advocacy and mobilization programs of the newly established Nigerians in Diaspora Commission. Nigerians in diaspora are also known to be engaged in skill transfer in ICT and industry. They are also active in our universities as lecturers and in carrying out medical missions. It is therefore my sincere hope that even with the depressed economy under stress in the year 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Nigerians in the diaspora would rise up to the occasion of not abandoning their country of origin, Nigeria, but to be active in our post-COVID-19 economic recovery efforts. My three-point agenda for the Nigerians in diaspora remains the same and particularly relevant at this auspicious occasion, and I wish to repeat them as follows. A, you are our ambassadors at large by your behavior and character in your host countries. B, whatever legitimate endeavor you choose, you must excel and be the best. C, do not forget home, Nigeria, by giving back and engaging in its development. In my several interactions with Nigerians in diaspora at town hall meetings I have had in various countries of the world, I must say I have been impressed with the support and contribution of Nigerians in the diaspora to the socio-economic development of Nigeria. May I therefore congratulate all Nigerians in diaspora and those at home on the auspicious occasion of the celebration of the 2020 National Diaspora Day. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
were very well articulated points there by Mr. President a few days ago on his vision with Nigerians in the diaspora and a three-point agenda. Okay, let's cross live again to the U.S. via WebEx in Las Vegas, where Dr. Godwin Maduka is still with us. Dr. Maduka, you listened to President Muhammadu Buhari there challenging Nigerians in the diaspora on three fronts. How are you taking advantage or advantages of Mr. President's three-pronged agenda for the diasporans to come and, one, invest in Nigeria, excel in whatever they are doing, and be ambassadors of this great country? Tell us.
Well, I'm very happy to hear his speech. But again, like I said, he's been doing this since his presidency. I think he was one of the first presidents to reach out to Nigerians. As far as I know, Nigerians in diaspora. I was in his presence. The minister of diaspora will tell you that. They know me well. And one of the reasons I was also invited there is because of what I've done at home. But having spoken to the Nigerians in diaspora, I think you will see a lot of movement now for Nigerians to do that. We work hard in another country. We work hard. Some of us have been assimilated into the society. But then again, human beings, we all together, we one race. But we come from Nigeria and we need to go home and change that place with the people at home. We can't change it alone. But they had to give us a soft landing when we come home. We know better than people at home, and they know better than us. When your sons and daughters who come home, allow them to do something good. Also, there's a call for Nigerians abroad to behave appropriately. Make sure we don't get into crime. Make sure we don't get into anything that will make us feel ashamed. The people that I'm surrounded with and people I known in the medical and pharmaceutical society work very hard. Can you imagine if all the pharmacies that I am a member of them here come home together with me? We'll build the best looking, one of the best factories that produce medications, because we have the technology, we have the knowledge. So everything that he said, those 3 points is in order.
Fantastic. What a very good place for you to apply the brakes there, Dr. Maduka. We're going on another short break. When we return, we'll look at your own contributions as a diasporan to the development of Anambra State and, of course, Nigeria in general from the health sector perspective. You're still watching the Arise interview. We've got more still ahead. Stay with us. You're welcome back to the Arise interview with me, Christian Ogodo. We're live in Nigeria's capital, Abuja, and I still have with me Dr. Godwin Maduka. He's a surgeon, a pharmacist, as well as a chemist and a big medical entrepreneur in the United States of America. Let's rejoin him in Las Vegas now to tell us, Dr. Maduka, the COVID-19 has raised several medical and health questions. But I want to ask you, what's your own position on the controversy surrounding the use and efficacy of hydroxychloroquine in the management of COVID-19? What are your thoughts?
Well, you know, until the vaccine for this virus is obtained, any remedy that can help, we will use. Now, I, for one, I have not used hydroxychloroquine yet, but people are beginning to show a lot of data that show that people are recovering. But you got to do it in combination. Just like the Nigerian medical doctor living in Texas was able to show that out of the 300 people that were stricken by this virus, she was able to give them hydrochloroquine, azithromycin, and zinc. Well, do anybody else have anything better? Because that's the thing. If there's any other regimen that could help with recovery from the virus, let us know. The president of the country says that he's using it. The president of Brazil will say he's using it. Okay? And they're still alive. So my thing is, if it works, use it. I don't see much problem from using it. But to shun it down without any other alternative, I don't think is the answer. So my thing is, if you have a coronavirus infection that resulted to you showing symptoms, why not try those too as well? It won't kill you. If anything, it will save you. That's my idea on that. As a pharmacist and as a physician, okay, you should try those until we have another efficacious and more effective drugs that can shorten the life span of the virus.
Submission there, standing in between, at least for now, and waiting for any scientific breakthrough in a vaccine that would take final care of that. Before I ask you a question on the hospital, this 17-story hospital you're building in Umuchuku, your hometown in Anambra State, let me ask you, how engaging are you with your colleagues, Nigerian professionals in the US, in helping to develop alternative medicine in Nigeria? Herbal productions of scientifically brewed or produced drugs. Is that in the line of thought or business that you're aggregating with your colleagues in the diaspora?
Okay, I'm going to make it fast and then so I don't lose the point. First of all, most people that I know don't know that I'm a son of a native doctor, a herbalist. That's how I got this idea of becoming a medical doctor. During the rainy season, people get sick. I follow my father into the bush, get the roots, get the herbs, get the leaves, mix it together, cure a lot of people. We never had any doctors in that remote part of Nigeria. These people cure anything from sexually transmitted diseases to malaria to different ailments. Even we have people doing bone setters. They are bone setters. That's the kind of place I grew up. So this area is called pharmacognosy. It's study of plants and roots for the purpose of medication. That we did that in pharmacy school as well. And that's the part I'm so much interested upon. We still have all those recipes at home. I really believe that Nigerians, just like the Cubans done, should develop some of those, whether from the north side to west, and get all their remedies. We can always put it through the lab and check out the toxicity level and the efficacy and start doing our own trials. So building that 17 floors is, which in future I hope will be in connection with World Health Organization and other enterprises for the study of the tropical diseases and tropical medicine for the purpose of treating different types of tropical diseases from typhoid, malaria, parasite infections, things like that. So now that 17 stories is for medical research and medical education. that as a triple professor here in US, I believe that we can get together with expatriates as well as the Nigerians at home to develop medications and understand the tropical medicine and be able to advance in that level. We keep using the Western medications, which might not work well with us back home. I think it's about time that we do the studies, trials of medications using our people at home for whom the medications are being developed. So Nigerians in diaspora, I'm a member of AMPA, that's an Association of Nigerians, Nigerian physicians in the Americas. And some of them come home and do medical mission. But I believe in time not too far, we will establish this international teaching method using that 17 stories. So it will house medical research, it will house teaching doctors, nurses, radiologists, laboratory attendants. It will house international health, different organizations for Africa. Prior to that, I already built a hospital, Trinitas, that will be taking care of the local people at home. So this one is mostly for research and fellowship training, as well as specialists, whether it's in cancer oncology, whether it's in infertility, whether it's in HIV/AIDS, now COVID-19. So upon completion of these 17 floors, that will be the hub of training our local people with different areas of medicine. Thank you.
That is very, very laudable, Dr. Godwin Maduka there. And some people will say this is going to check medical tourism abroad, and the much needed dollars or foreign exchange will be saved. How soon do you expect this to come into operations? Very quickly.
Well, frankly, in the next few months, and we're already working on that. Next few months, we'll finish the work down there. And I'm also working in collaboration with people from overseas and within Nigeria to help in finishing it up. I'm also calling on federal government to come to our help as well, because we need support. By the time we finish this project, it will be the best in sub-Saharan Africa. You understand? And then we set the standard.
That is really, really fantastic, laudable, and we look forward, or Nigerians will look forward to seeing you, coming to commission this project to add value to the healthcare delivery system in the country. Dr. Godwin Maduka has joined us from Las Vegas in the United States. Thanks so very much for being part of the Arise interview. Well, that's it for this edition of the Arise interview. Do join us again for another edition, and from me and the entire team here in Abuja, goodbye and thanks for watching.